boys and girls. I want to read a story today. This story is called Perfect Square. And since we're working on square, I wanted to read this book. I was going to do it yesterday and then I changed my mind. This book is brand new. I ordered it this year for my home teaching and it came on Amazon yesterday. So we're going to turn first to the title page. And then I'm going to turn again and I'm going to start reading. This book is all about a square. It was a perfect square. It had 4 matching corners and 4 equal sides. Remember when we talked about a square has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides and 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. That's what makes it a square. All the sides are equal. And it was perfectly happy. Look, here's a square. Do you see the happy face? It's a happy square. Oops. But on Monday, the square was cut into little pieces and poked full of holes. It wasn't perfectly square anymore. So someone took their scissors, didn't they? And a paper puncher. And they cut it into strips, diagonal, slanted, and they cut it with a paper puncher. So it made itself into a fountain that babbled and giggled and clapped. So what they did is all those little pieces, they stacked them up and then they put all those dots they cut out with a paper punch and made it look like a water fountain. On Tuesday, the square was torn into scraps. Look, that'd be kind of fun to take a square and just tear it. I wonder what they're going to turn that into. So it made itself into a garden. See? Looks like flowers, doesn't it? On stems. All made with those little torn pieces. On Wednesday, the square was shredded into strips. Now this was a green square and somebody just tore it into pieces. What do you think they're gonna make with those strips? I'm thinking of something. Oh, I think I was right. So it made itself into a park. Yeah, I was gonna say green grass. See how they layered all the strips? Now there's someone in the park flying a kite. On Thursday, the square was shattered. I see what this book is doing. This is the first time I've read this book. They're using blue now. They're using all the colors of the rainbow. So look, it almost looks like a piece of glass. If you throw something hard into it and it cracks, it kind of shatters like this into pieces. Sort of looks like a spider web too, I think. So it made itself into a bridge. They took all those pieces and turned it into a bridge. On Friday, the square was snipped into ribbons. I know what they use for those. So they use these special scissors called crimping scissors, and they turn it into a zigzag, 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 and they have strips. I wonder what they're going to use those strips for. So it made itself into a river. See how they glued the strips down and then they drew some fish? They turned those blue strips into a river. On Saturday, the square was crumpled and ripped and wrinkled. Now they've gone to purple. So it made itself into a mountain. That's pretty. They put the clouds up here and they put it in the shape of a triangle. On Sunday, the square, did we skip Saturday? Nope, we got it. On Sunday, the square waited to see what was next. It waited and waited, but nothing happened. It's just a normal square now, right? I wonder what's going to happen to the square today. Its 4 equal sides were confining. Its 4 matching corners were rigid and cramped. Hey, he's not happy anymore. Look at his happy face turned upside down. He's sad. I wonder why he's sad. I think he enjoyed being all those other things, right? So it made itself into a window. I put all those colors together and then look, there's a window pane. I wonder what the square is going to see outside of this window. The window looked out onto a mountain that gave birth to a river that was crossed by a bridge. Here's all the things it was. That led to a park that was home to a garden that had at its center a fountain. One more page. That babbled and giggled and clapped. So there, now we're back to the fountain. So So that square started out a square and then it turned into lots of different things. That would be a very, very fun creative art project. You could start with a square and you could tear the paper into strips or use fancy scissors and turn it into something else. We're gonna have to do that another day because I had something else I was gonna do. All right, so I wanted to make a square necklace. Remember the other day, or just a square with a poem on the back. Remember the other day I showed you Sandy Square? Let's do the poem again. Sandy Square is my name. My 4 sides are all the same. Count one side and then count more. Count to 2, then 3, then 4. Turn me around, I don't care. I'm always the same, I'm Sandy Square. So I want you guys to make your own Sandy Square necklace. So what I did is I sent the poem to your parents today on the assignment page. So you can either print it out. If you have a hard time doing that, I'm trying to turn it into a PDF and I always have a difficult time from my old computer to the laptop, but I'll see if I can figure it out. And if you can't print it out, you don't have to have the poem on the back. But if you do have this, you can use it to trace a square on blue paper. All right, so since my poem, I did it about 5 inches, so I might do the other square about 6 inches. And I have a ruler here, so grown-ups would have to do that. I think that might be too hard for the kids to do. So what I'm going to do is I am going to measure 6 inches. In fact, I don't even think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to set this down and I'm going to make my square a little bit bigger. And I'm using a pencil just a little bit bigger than my poem. And I think it'll turn out to be and I'm doing that just to save time. I think that's a pretty good square. So once you get that, either parents can cut it out, or if your child's pretty good at cutting, they can cut it out. All right, again, I wanted to have these all ready in your child's bucket and folder, and we did not have time. So now we're gonna glue the poem. We're gonna glue the poem to this side, all right? And then I'm gonna turn it over and I'm gonna draw a face. You know, I need to just grab a glue stick right here. I have my bucket on the floor because I have so much stuff in here. Okay, so I'm gonna put the glue stick right here. I'm gonna trace the sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I think I'm gonna go from one corner down to the other, and this corner down here, that's an X. I might even put some more on there because I don't want my poem to fall off after I get it on there. I'm gonna turn it around and glue it, and this would be a great side to write your name on. And then I'm going to use a black marker. You could use a black crayon. And because this is a square, I'm gonna start out with a square nose right in the middle. And then above my nose is my eyes. So I'm gonna make 2 square eyes. And you do not need to measure these, just do the best you can. I could put 2 square pupils. That's the black center of the eyeball. And if you want, I saw lots of kids get fancy last week. They made some eyelashes and some eyebrows. We're not gonna put hair on it. And then I don't wanna make a square mouth. I want my Sandy Square to be happy, okay? All right, so here's my Sandy Square. Okay, and the poem is on the back, and then you can practice the poem. So now I have Cindy Circle and Sandy Square. And we're gonna save those. And when we get all 4, then we'll do some stuff on Zoom with them. So hopefully you're gonna have 4. If you don't, you could just maybe use those foam shapes when we get to that point, after we introduce all 4 shapes. All right, thank you guys. That was a nice short lesson. Bye-bye.